Joe Biden is a lying, hypocritical, xenophobic racist. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Latino Conservative. I am your host, Andrew Alvarez. We've got some topics to talk about from the local to the state to the national level. Houston's gun buyback program happened today, as well as some hypocritical calls by the Democratic Party. That and more coming up. But first, let's get into the word about our affiliate. If you're anything like me, in the past you might have had trouble with credit, or you might have trouble with credit right now. I signed up for Chime. Chime can give both you and I $100 if you sign up using the link that's going to be in the description, as well as on my website, thelatinoconservative.com. Both links are going to be in the description there. But what you get with Chime, not only do you get a standard debit card, you also get a secured credit card. It's not any other secured credit card. This secured credit card is secured by your direct deposit. The more you direct deposit into your credit card, the higher your credit spending limit is. And you know, credit bureaus love a high spending credit limit. Makes you look phenomenal. I personally increased my credit score 100 points using that credit card, the secure credit card. The credit builder credit card is what it's called. So if you have troubles, or if you just want another way to get away from the standard brick and mortar banks and do online banking, which you can do everything at this bank that you can at a regular bank. Just no actual buildings there. Who needs those nowadays, though? Sign up for Chime using the link in the description below or on my website, thelatinoconservative.com, and we both can get $100. So let's get into this. Houston today on 7/30 of 2022. Mayor Sylvester Turner, the city of Houston, in partnership with Commissioner Rodney Ellis, Harris County Precinct 1, announces a gun buyback. I even saw that U.S. Representative Al Green was there. So let's talk about what's going on with this buyback as I pull up the website here. So in partnership with the Houston Police Department, officers will conduct a gun buyback operation in the parking lot of Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. Depending on the type of weapon, citizens turning in firearms will be rewarded with a gift card in the amounts from $50 all the way up to this huge, ginormous number of $200. What you will get is a gift card. You'll have $50. You'll get a $50 gift card if your firearm is non-functioning, $100 for a rifle or a shotgun. You will get $150 for a handgun, and you will get $200 for a fully automatic rifle. Let that sink in, people. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. You can come up with a lot of money for turning in your guns. They say that they're going to destroy the guns, which means that no one's going to be able to use those again. I would like to see them really do that, but I'm going to make an offer to you guys. I will double their offer for automatic rifles. I will buy your automatic rifle for $400. I will double the city's offer. For rifles and shotguns, I'll give you $50 extra, which is 50% more than what they have. Depending on the rifle, you know, I might even go all the way up to $200 on them too. I'll give you more for your weapons than the city will. And I won't destroy them. I won't, because I think that's a waste of metal there. But I will definitely increase their offer if you want to come turn them into me. So that the pricing that they're giving, gift cards, it's an insult. This is one way the Democratic Party is using to try to get guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens. Now, they say that anyone can come in and turn in their guns, and they'll get the reward gift card, probably to like Starbucks or something like that. No questions asked. It's totally anonymous. You have to leave them in your trunk and pop the trunk. Why? I feel like they're going to sell those to China or to one of these other countries that needs weapons, quote unquote, like Ukraine or something like that. Because there's no way in hell anybody is going to give up their automated rifle for $200. There's nobody going to give up their handgun for $150. No one in their right mind will give up an AR or a shotty for $100. It's just plain and stupid. I saw Al Green on Facebook go live from there. Al Green is one of these guys that, while his people are suffering with real issues like inflation and they can't feed their babies because there's a baby formula shortage, they can't afford to go to work because gas prices are so high, but he's out there trying to politicize and everything, make everything about politics. Dude has gotten worthless. He's been in there for how long already? Almost 20 years. He's a millionaire now because of our taxpayer money. He needs to retire already. The Dems are doing this, and they're doing everything they can to get guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands. Same thing Beto O'Rourke promised. He is quoted as saying, "Hell yeah, we'll take your ARs." If he makes and somehow wins the gubernatorial race for Texas, and he tries to do that, I would love to see him actually be successful at that. Because here's the thing. There is a quote that Japan, a Japanese prime minister, said back in around World War II. And actually, a Russian general said something similar during the Cold War. The reasons why they haven't invaded the United States is because there's a gun behind every blade of grass. That is still true. That will be true. Countries like Japan, where guns are practically illegal, guess what happened? Their prime minister was assassinated with a gun. That's right. Like I said, you will only take guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands with any legislation you have and using these programs. That's all you're going to do. Take guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands while the crooks, while the bad guys still have guns. Plain and simple. Look at Chicago. There's not a week that goes by without people dying from illegal people having guns. Continuing on, guys, thank you for listening so far. So, hey, if you haven't visited my website yet, thelatinoconservative.com, you'll find all of the episodes there as well as a way to listen. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Google Podcasts. Even if you have Anchor, you'll find me there as well. So if you don't have a way to actually have a video playing the entire time, or you just want to listen, you'll find me there. Don't forget to smash that like button, as my good friend Tim Poole says. Smash that like button. Sign up for alerts. Subscribe to this channel. Help my channel grow. It's still a little bit of a small channel, but you know what? We're making some waves here. People are starting to notice again what's going on with the Latino Conservative. So again, smash that like button. Sign up for alerts. Subscribe, like, follow, whatever you do. Get this out there. Drop comments. That helps build up the algorithm. Helps build up relevance. If you like what I say, drop me some comments. Show me some love. If you don't like what I say, drop me some comments. Show me some hate. Troll me for all I care. So this is another one that is really hypocritical, I say, of the Democratic Party. Specifically, the Democratic mayor of Washington, D.C. You know, Mayor Bowser, Muriel Bowser, the Democrat, she is basically, hold on, before I get in there, she is mayor of a sanctuary city, by the way. Washington, D.C. has been declared a sanctuary city. She's decided to call in for the help of the National Guard to help with the issue of illegal immigrants. Now think about that for a little bit. While we do that, got to drink some. So, DC Mayor Muriel, I can't say her name, thank goodness, Muriel Bowser, like Super Mario Brother Bowser. said Thursday she is seeking to have 150 National Guard troops deployed to the city to help with the thousands of migrants arriving on charter buses from Texas and Arizona. A politics-driven influx from those border states has overwhelmed local aid groups. Overwhelmed them. She's calling it politics, a political move. Well, guess what? Guess what? Not securing our border is a political move. Not allowing our Texas governor and Donald Trump, or I should say, calling them racist, xenophobe, those are political moves because they are doing the same thing that you're doing. Is your city not good enough to accept immigrants? We have to dump those and keep those in Texas and Arizona? Maybe we should start busing them to San Francisco, near the home of where Nancy Pelosi is. Let them overwhelm the system there. Even though they are already overwhelmed, they are already crapping in the streets. But Mayor Bowser is quoted as saying, we need space and we need the federal government to be involved. Whoa, looky there. Looky there. We need the federal government to be involved. The same government that has opened our borders, has stopped in its tracks the building of the border wall. Bowser said at the end of the news conference on a separate topic, calling the busloads of migrants seeking U.S. asylum who have been arriving at Union Station a humanitarian crisis that we expect to escalate. A humanitarian crisis. What about the tens of thousands of people that have waited at the border? The caravans of migrants that have crossed over at Del Rio, at other places, Eagle Pass. Not just passing, but dying. You got about 4,000 immigrants there. Texas has seen millions of immigrants. Some people called Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, as I mentioned before, xenophobic and racist for doing the same exact thing. But now they're kind of praising her? What kind of sense does that make? It doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense at all. It's not that hard to believe, though, from a city where a lady who refers to Latinos as breakfast tacos lives. Let's not forget the hundreds of people that have died in the back of 18-wheelers, because it's not just the truck that was found in San Antonio. Think back some years ago, in Victoria, Texas. There is a rest station there called Chubby's. It's kind of a landmark in Victoria on the way out. You kind of stop there. That's kind of your duty to stop there on the way out of town. Don't forget about the 40 or so immigrants that died in that truck too. Let's not forget about the thousands of immigrants that die in the desert. We find some. We don't find them all. But just because your city has now gained an extra 4,000 or 5,000 immigrants, it's a humanitarian crisis. Maybe we should have a border czar come to the actual border and see what it's actually like. See the people that are crossing. And then maybe, just maybe, we should secure our border. Go figure, right? Far be it from me, though, to have any common sense. Because you know what? Common sense isn't so common. Common sense is irrelevant to a lot of the left. They don't think. Speaking of not thinking, let's talk about Joe Biden. During the midst of all this, and I can go on about the Brittany Griner story, how we're trading a terrorist for her. Don't get me wrong. I think we should figure out how to get her back. But we're trading a terrorist for someone that had weed, because they equal to the same amount, go figure. That's Joe Biden's thinking. But during the midst of all this, inflation, recession. Yes, I said it. We are officially in a recession, no matter how you want to try to change the definition. Just like you try to change the definition of women, XY or XX. But Joe Biden quietly authorized the completion of the Arizona border wall. Do you remember in his campaign when he totally just harped and made, again, Donald Trump seem like the xenophobic racist for building a wall? You remember that? Guess what? It wasn't big public news or anything like that. You see a couple of small outlets that talk about it, but Joe Biden officially authorized the completion of the border wall in Arizona, though. In Arizona. Why Arizona? He's filling in gaps, quote unquote, is what he's saying, in Yuma, Arizona, because people are dying. Well, guess what? They're dying all over the place. Everywhere there's a border, people are dying crossing. They're dying when they go to the other states after they've crossed the border. You forget, down here in Texas, we've got mountains, we've got desert, we've got cactus, rattlesnakes, coyotes, and not just the people kind of coyotes, the animal coyotes that will attack and kill children. We've got a river that people die crossing. Even our own men and women serving our country in the military and in the border patrol have died in that river. So why just in Arizona? Could it be because there's no official Republican or Democratic candidate yet? It's still the primaries? Could it be because your boy Beto O'Rourke is campaigning against the border wall in Texas against Greg Abbott? Beto O'Rourke wants to turn Texas into California. Well, he needs to just freaking move to California. So Texas has seen millions of illegal immigrants. Arizona has seen some thousands, a couple hundred thousands. Not downplaying anything or anything like that, but there is a big difference there. There's a huge difference there. Our country is being invaded because it's not just Latinos that are coming over. There's people on the terrorist watch list that have come over there too, from Iran, Iraq. Guess what? They kind of look like us sometimes. We've got the same skin tone. It makes me think. I know people, or I should say know of, growing up, that have come over illegally. They went to work. They worked hard. These people, in fact, I remember one buying a truck from my dad and driving that truck all the way up to Washington State to go pick apples, pick fruits, whatever. Made a ton of money because that's what he did. He worked hard. I should say he saved a ton of money. But he was working. And he was actually working to get his papers. And he got his papers. These people coming over aren't always doing that. But now, they're trading them like cattle. The Biden administration and this DC mayor have shunned, or I should say shamed, Donald Trump and Greg Abbott for busing people over, for wanting to close the border and whatnot. Meanwhile, they have completed transactions of people by flying them in the dead of night because they knew it was wrong all over the country. Again, they are complaining about Republicans doing one thing while they do the same exact thing because that makes it all better when they do it. Joe Biden is a lying, hypocritical, xenophobic, racist. Because that's what he called Donald Trump, right? That's what they called Greg Abbott. Joe Biden has gone back on every campaign promise he made. Let me let that sink in for a little bit. He promised to bring unity and not division. Yet in his inaugural speech, how divisive can you be? I don't think you can be any more divisive. He fails to address real issues that really hurt people now. He's turned his back on the black community. And as soon as he started realizing that these immigrants coming over through Texas, through Arizona, as soon as he started realizing that they have conservative values, he started building the wall. Go figure. Hey guys, my name is Andrew Alvarez again. Thank you for watching this episode of The Latino Conservative. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, sign up for alerts. Go to the website, thelatinoconservative.com. I appreciate everything y'all do for me. Every comment you leave, every like, every share, all of that. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, there's links at the bottom where you can do that. You can be a monthly sponsor, or you can go to the website and buy some merch. Every little bit helps keep this show going, helps keep the equipment up to date, and helps me get your word out. Again, my name is Andrew Alvarez. I'm the Latino Conservative. Thank you.